Hi Cancer. I hope you guys can hear me. Just doing a little bit of cleaning so the dryer's on and whatnot. But in any case, I just wanted to come and do your reading for this week and see what we can get for you guys to kind of give all of us some guidance. So in any case, I am going to use the Moonchild Tarot deck. So we'll see what comes out. I'm going to do 3 from here, 3 from the Unicorn deck, and then also 3 from the Animal deck to see what we can ascertain. Okay, so I got 2 of Pentacles in reverse. I got the King of Cups in reverse. And then the Universe card in the upright. So what this is kind of telling me right off the bat is that somebody might be feeling like there's no emotional love available for them, or no depth of emotion, no depth of love, and specifically coming from the universe, right, the world around themselves. So that's indicative of somebody trying to offer something, but that offer not being necessarily accepted, or there's a lot of space on this part of the card. I'm seeing that somebody might feel like their heart space is feeling a little bit cramped right now, and unable to kind of dive a little deeper to find their own stability. I'm seeing this for some reason as 2 pillars, or like a pathway. I don't know if you guys have read the Odyssey and the Iliad, but you've got to go directly through the middle in order to kind of figure out for yourself how to get past the sirens, that the mermaids that call to the sailors and try to dissuade them from making their journey. So if you are experiencing some type of a hang up or a blockage in your depth of emotional water, and especially because you're Cancers, crabs are at the very bottom of the ocean. They can crawl up to the surface as well, but they also they reside in the depths with like lobsters and a whole bunch of different sea bearing creatures. A lot of other creatures that might be in the depths are kind of like octopuses, squids, Thousand Leagues Under the Sea. Really good movie if you haven't seen it. But there's a whole universe that's submerged beneath kind of the crab life, and for that to come through and surface and show itself in its face, you kind of need to have that emotional space available to yourself to kind of look through and see a way to get there, rather than feeling completely cramped. So that might be something that you need to do, is kind of clear some space. I know for myself, it's been an interesting day so far, but it'll be, it is what it is. Not every day is going to be the greatest day that you've ever had, and not every day is going to be the worst. So good and bad come together. It's a yin and yang, and you can't have one without the other. And it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because when you're experiencing something that kind of brings you down, it gives you an opportunity to also take a look at the ways in which you can balance things out. So as soon as you're able to do that, then you can take the next step forward. And that's definitely important to remember when you're thinking about life goals, love, any kind of manifestation that you're trying to create for yourself. You get to frame it the way that you'd like to frame it, and it's not always going to be pleasant. I don't know if you guys actually watched the Gemini air sign reading that I uploaded yesterday, but or early this morning, I guess it would be. But definitely, if you're having a struggle with defining for yourself who you are and trying to take cues from other people, it does not typically work. You've got to stay true to who you are, and you've got to be honest about where you are emotionally, physically, mentally, etc. So that's kind of the trinity, if you will, of success factors. Oh, 3 cards just came flying out by themselves. So I'm going to take these. I got Invisibility, number 16. Then I got the Queen of the Unicorns in reverse. That's number 43. And then Manifestation in the upright for number 19. So if you take a look at the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, as well as Invisibility for number 16, 16 is a factor of 8. So obviously you might be feeling like you're too full, like I was just saying. I'm just getting the kind of a download about that, about being too full. I know for me, when I get anxious or when I'm very stressed out about something, my stomach will get butterflies in it and I'm unable to eat. Like, it just makes me feel like I'm going to be sick if I actually eat anything. Some people are exactly the opposite. Some people actually feel like when they get stressed out, they eat more. And, it just depends on your appetite, I guess. But different strokes for different folks. And I think that when you are able to, this man is directly centered. I'm noticing that as well. Off to the right hand side is a unicorn. And the card says, take off your cloak of invisibility and let your light be seen. So you might need to kind of find your own self-love in order to, there's a moth coming out from between these two women who are holding open a space. They almost look like they're choir members or something like that are keeping a space open. But I'm also flashing on the Mothman prophecies. So since this is in reverse, it's kind of scary not to feel like you have a path or a direction to go. And when that happens and you feel invisible, I think it's important to kind of recenter yourself and think about the things that are going on for your own life. So there's an owl on this man's shoulder. If you guys are into Hogwarts, that might be something valuable for you to consider. Send yourself a letter. Send yourself a meaningful surrounding of your own worth. Cushion it with things that make you feel better rather than worse, and make sure that, if there's a specific intention that you have coming out of your pineal gland, that it's amplified, that it's able to speak its mind, that it's able to really coalesce with the things that you're doing in your life. And that's important for a lot of different reasons, but it's also important because when you're not being led in the right direction by other people, you may have a better sense of where you'd like to go when you talk to yourself, or when you have a conversation with your inner heart and soul about why it is that you're feeling stunted, or why you're feeling unable to move back and forth. Sometimes I'm also seeing slalom with this card for some reason, a car going slalom. So, if you're feeling out of whack, unbalanced, or somehow unable to kind of speak your mind, then it's sometimes important to be able to say, hey, what do I need to bring from the surface and offer to the world and to myself that will be something useful in the future? How do I find my way back to grounded? So when these are all together, that is the Trinity: the heart, the mind, and the soul. So there's an individualism. I'm going to show you the back of these cards too, because you can see in the distance there is a unicorn, or I guess these are hawks or eagles or something like that. But there's a unicorn in the middle, and then there's a hawk and an eagle, or an eagle and a hawk, or maybe they're both the same. Maybe they're doves, for all we know. I don't know. But it kind of reminds me of, on each side there is going to be protection, and there is going to be good and evil. So finding a middle ground is really investigating for yourself your own gray matter. What are the things that are clouding your vision at the moment, and how can you resolve those things? 1 + 6 is 7. So there is luck on the back side of things, is also what I'm seeing. You got to kind of be able to show yourself the ways that you can kind of let go of some of the, your esophagus connects your mouth and your stomach. So if you're feeling nervous, you need to find a way to fill your esophagus with fluids, to either rinse things out, or food to nurture yourself. And you'll know which one applies to you. So that's all I'm seeing there for the time being. Here we have the Queen of the Unicorns in the reverse. That's number 43, which is also equal to 7. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. And what this card says is you are blessed with love, compassion, and wisdom. So this coming out in the reverse along with the King of Cups kind of indicates that you might be feeling, the King and the Queen can sometimes indicate, the yin and the yang again. So the female and masculine sides of ourselves that we have to juggle constantly, that are always being weighed out one way or the other. And when they're out of whack with each other, we're not able to take steps forward. So when you're not feeling emotionally fulfilled, when your cup is dumped out on the ground, it leaves you feeling rather helpless at times, and that can really throw off the duality that we really need as humans to bring together the two sides of our brains, the two parts of our heart, and your physical being with your spiritual understanding. So that is what I'm seeing here. This is also interesting because the picture of the Queen of Unicorns has a child sitting directly underneath it, and this child is motioning, kind of wanting to offer something. It's a little girl in this picture, but it's not always, like I said, each of us have a masculine and a feminine side of ourselves that can be expressed in different ways or perceived by other people in different ways. And the unicorn, or this is kind of more like a Pegasus type unicorn. It's got wings. So, in order to take flight, you've got to get in touch with your inner self and serve yourself with something that feels wholesome and healing, and a correct, interpretation and actual representation of how you can refill your cup. How can you refill your inner masculine and your inner feminine, or your inner masculine and your inner feminine, depending on, which way you're oriented. Just really depends. And so, in any case, both of these being in the reverse, along with the invisibility in the Two of Cups in reverse, kind of lets me know that you might be feeling a little bit unable to be seen at the moment, or serve yourself in a way that feels safe emotionally at this point in time. And then the last card that came out with the universe was manifestation in the upright. So that's the number 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 in the tarot, the traditional tarot card deck, is the completion card. It's the world card. So it means things have come completely full circle. She's holding an orb in her hand here. And if you can see kind of in the background, there's a very faint reflection of a moon, or a secret that has now come through the fog and is being witnessed by her, and she's kind of looking straight up at something in the future. So I'm not sure what kind of secrets may have become visible to you suddenly, especially if you're feeling invisible, especially in love, but you may have clarified. I don't know why I keep on referring to the Gemini reading for some reason here. It just seems like you may need to go watch that if you're dealing with a Gemini or an air sign of some type, and recalibrate yourself so that you can manifest. And it looks like that would be a successful manifestation for you to pursue. But my nail polish is horribly chipped and my nails are really dirty from trying to clean everything out. But, I did this hand pink and this hand blue. And I guess that's kind of the cohesion of the two sides of my mental self coming together as well. So you've got to apply this to yourself instead of taking it from my mouth and using it as your own. But you certainly can go ahead and kind of reframe things here to manifest. You can always take other people's advice, but you've got to take it with a grain of salt. Always take it with your own understanding or interpretation. This also reminds me of a photo gallery or an art gallery of some type. When you're at an art gallery or in a photo gallery, everybody can look at the same picture and see something completely different, or take something totally different away from it. So, you know, it's interesting that in this one it says, focus on a vision beyond yourself and your unicorn will help you. So somebody can guide you by offering you a tidbit or a little, you know, little sprinkle of advice here and there, but they cannot actually do the work for you. And that's something important to remember when considering how you'd like to ask your spirit guides to support you in coming out of this fog. I'm just saying, you know, that this, whatever secret or whatever, whatever your moon sign is in your chart, you might want to refer to that and see what it is. But, you know, this right here can kind of be your moon sign coming to the forefront to offer you an opportunity to do some shadow work, to do some things by yourself, to take some time to reflect. And by doing that, you can really tap into the energies that are coming in and kind of look towards this. This unicorn is in line with this woman who's shrouded in all black. So the shadow work that you need to use to bring the light forward can actually be invoked. There's two birds here that are also flying off into the distance. The unicorn doesn't really seem like they're paying attention to that, but that's, you know, a good thing. You don't want to get distracted, but at the same time, you need to stay focused on your spirit guides and your overall piece of artwork that you're trying to create on yourself, on your life, the vision that you've got. I don't know if you guys are into vision boards, but definitely very helpful in trying to recenter yourself. That's something that I've really benefited from. My son and I watched a cartoon. It was actually a TED Talk about a cartoonist, and he was talking about sigil magic. It's SIGIL, sigil magic, and it's about the way that your writing can actually help you to manifest specific things in your life. So you can read someone else's book, but it's really someone else's intellectual property. And not only that, but you're not going to believe every single thing you read in every single book. Or else we would just, I mean, that's like looking at the internet and believing every single thing that you see. So that's what I'm getting from this. I'm going to get you some animal cards to help with advice on what to do and how to deal with this. Because the Odyssey and the Iliad are coming through really strongly, I'm going to go ahead and draw from this only 2 cards instead of 3 today. So we can see what we need to consume for ourselves at that. Bringing something to the table seems really important right now. Whether you need to, you know, to wash away some of the debris of your mind or in your body, like cleanse and detox, or whether you need to nurture yourself seems relevant at this moment. So let's see what the animals have to say. Yep, Kingfisher came out. These are really pretty cards. I don't know if you guys can see that, but in the sky here, there is a whole bunch of fish swimming down, and the kingfisher is poised between these 2 points of light, ready to strike at any point, you know, to go forward and to, he's in the dark, completely in the dark. So like I was saying, you may need to dig deep for something a little bit more significant than what you're perceiving at the moment. What it says here is that the symbolism of kingfisher symbolizes peace, abundance, and love. So the kingfisher is named for both its dark crest, which suggests royalty, and its skill in hunting fish. So water signs, obviously, we just talked about how the Cancer is actually a crab in astrology, and so you might need to kind of figure out what lies beneath, like release the kraken, you know what I mean? My son says that to me sometimes. So in any case, yeah, go watch 1000 Leagues Under the Sea. There might be something that you need to absorb with your psyche about that. And horse came out. So if you're feeling horse in wisdom, strength, or friendship, this is a really great, actually with the bird here, I'm also getting very clearly that your horsepower, that the ability to use your writing, your words, your voice box. Suddenly I'm seeing this as a box. You may need to break open a new set of skills, kind of like an egg. I'm seeing this also as an egg that needs to be in a nest and taken care of and incubated a little bit. This may be what you're trying to offer or what you've got in your hands already. And either way that it goes, it is something that needs to be broken open so that you can see clearly what lies beneath. So I'm seeing this very much as a cerebral thing here with all the clouds and the fog and the smoke and the gaze upward. Do some prayer, do some this card, the universe card, it actually is XXI. So you might be feeling a little savage in your mindset or something like that, but you also need to understand that there's a lot of power to be had once you're able to when I'm looking at all of these together, what I'm seeing is that this unicorn is looking at this horse. This horse is looking at the unicorn. And this shadow work that's being done means that you've got a unicorn within yourself. And that could have a lot of horsepower in it. But unless you're willing and able to speak that truth and live that truth, walk, talk, and make it happen, then you're not going to be able to really move things the way that you might want them to in the long term and manifest how you'd like. So I don't know. That's all I've got for you guys today, Cancer. I will be back and we shall see how things pan out. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.